I am completely blown away by the new leaks that are coming out for Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 5 because we may actually get the OG experience in Fortnite. We're going to talk about it in just a second. We're going to talk about it because, to be honest with you, I have mixed opinions about it. I'd love to hear what you guys think down below afterwards. Before we get into it, though, I do want to say hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you were new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's talk about Chapter 4 Season 5. So, guys, the new leaks that came out, and I will say, this isn't 100% certain, but of course, if you see a bunch of leakers posting this type of stuff, it's typically true. And the leakers did make this clear. I'm talking to guys like, I don't know who exactly posted it, but I'm talking about the main guys like Shinna, Hypex, Firemonkey, Wenzo, those guys, right? So what they said is that now apparently both sprinting and mantling are going to be disabled next season in Chapter 4 Season 5, and the leak that came out that apparently the two maps are going to be merged, it's going to be 60% this, 40% that, is false. It's going to be the full Chapter 1 Season 5 map, and there is one more leak that is very important to all of this. Apparently, Zero Build has a chance of being disabled. Again, this is important to note that this isn't 100% confirmed, but again, this really seems like the case. Now, guys, my initial thought coming into this was, oh my god, they're actually giving us the OG experience. And apparently, like, another thing that's not confirmed that people are talking about is we're getting like the OG loot pool, we're getting like OG graphics, all that type of stuff, right? My initial thought of this was, oh my god, does this mean they're actually going to remove turbo building? Does this mean we're actually going to get the update that I've wanted for so long, right? But of course, turbo building was in the game in the later seasons because it's now confirmed that it's going to be Chapter 1 Season 5 to Chapter 1 Season X, which, in my opinion, is much better. Now, the whole goal with this, obviously, is to give us the OG feeling. The OG Fortnite, bringing it back, right? I truthfully believe the only way to do this is to actually remove turbo building, but this does help. The fact that the game's going to be much slower paced, but the problem is, everybody's still going to be fantastic at building. Do you guys remember the later seasons, especially when Arena came out? Do you guys remember Chapter 1 Season 9, Chapter 1 Season X? How good people were at building. The skill gap's still going to be there. That is the big problem, especially if you're forcing all of those zero build players to play the build mode again. That's a big issue. Now, where it's not going to be an issue is when we get into Chapter 1 Season X, because they're going to have the mechs, we're going to have airstrikes, storm flips, junk rifts. All that stuff is going to be fantastic. Plus, oh my god, I'm going to be able to play in Tilted Town, I hope. Maybe all the zero build players will just drop in Tilted Town. Man, I'm still pissed off about that, by the way. I was the only person at the time who loved Tilted Town, and now everybody loves zero build, right? So I've mentioned that many times on the channel. I'm just still salty about it because we never got a POI like that again. We never got rift zones back, man. I'm excited to play it again. That's the point. So the problem is they're bringing back all of this stuff to hopefully bring back the OG experience, but in my opinion, it's not going to happen. And again, in saying this, I'm excluding Season X. You can still get the OG feeling in Season X because of all the stuff that will be in the loot pool, right? Turbo building is still going to be there. Everybody's still going to be great. Everybody's still going to be an amazing shot. The game will be slower paced, and I believe, honestly, that's going to make the game worse. If you wanted to do the whole OG thing, right, you're going to have to remove turbo building because then the game will feel like OG. But right now, it's if you just drop us in the next season and sprinting and mantling is removed, which is one of the greatest additions to the game, by the way, and people can't even play zero build, it's just going to be a slower paced game, and it's not going to be nearly as good. Again, sprinting and mantling was one of the greatest additions in Fortnite. It's perfect, and it really, really improved the game. The game's going to feel slow. The game's going to, and talk about running out of the storm, right? That's going to be another problem in itself. The game's going to be not nearly, like, it's not going to be as fun like that, by the way, in my opinion. If you go back and watch any of your clips, like, I have hours of gameplay, like, right, recorded and stuff like that. So every single time I watch a piece of that, I'm like, oh my god, that game was slow. It's not like slow in a good way. It's going to be slow as in everybody is still really good. Everybody's going to one-shot you to the head. Everybody's going to get sniped so much worse, right? And you're forcing all of these zero build players to play build mode again, which I mean, like, it's not a big deal to me, but I'm thinking of like the larger base of the community. This worries me, man. This worries me. The skill gap's still going to be there. I don't know how they're going to fix this. I don't know how they're going to possibly handle this. The only way you have a chance is if everybody gets into that OG spirit, that OG mindset. Everybody starts doing stuff like riding around on golf carts. People make friends in games, you know? But I can't count on the player base to do that. I can't. I've said forever that something you're never going to be able to recapture is the OG feeling of Fortnite unless you actually give the build players that skill gap, that being the turbo build nerf. But now, since we're having Chapter 1 Season 5 and on, you're not going to be able to get that. it's going to be fun for people like me. It's going to be fun for so many people on the channel like this who just appreciate for Fortnite what it is, and it's going to be a throwback. It's Donald Mustard's big goodbye. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to absolutely love revisiting all of these maps. But to be honest with you, because we're not going to get those OG feelings again, the game's not going to feel like the OG Fortnite, I would like it if they brought the mechanics like the augments in the game. I would like it if they kept the sprinting and mandling, even like unvaulting, hurdling. I would like that. Just bring back the map. I would love to re-experience that. The game's going to feel the same. To have everything and like this, again, the skill gap's still going to be there. And something that I really worried about, and I talked about this in a couple other videos, is people are going to return to Fortnite and get killed really fast, and people are still going to edit all over their faces, right? Because there are people who like will not, and it's not like I'm saying that it's wrong of them to do. There's people that will absolutely destroy you and have no problem doing so, but then the people who don't like that people are better than them at the game, the people who have taken like 5 years off from the game are going to come back and expect everybody to be nice to them. It's like, oh my god, this game's still sweaty. Look what this game's become. Fortnite really is dead. They're going to say all of that stuff, and they're going to take off, and then they're going to really crap all over this OG experience. They're going to take over online. They're going to take over all the conversations on Twitter. They're going to take over all the conversations on Reddit, TikTok, wherever it may be. They're just going to talk about how Fortnite can never be the same, and why did Epic Games have to ruin the OG experience? Why did they have to ruin the OG map? Leave it in our memories, you know? That's what's going to come from this, especially if you try to make the game as close to the OG mode as possible. I just don't think you're ever going to get those feelings back again. But I'm going to sit here, and this is where you need the mindset. I talked about this in another video. You need the mindset. You got to appreciate it for what it is. I'm going to have a blast. I cannot wait to re-experience all of these. It's just, I'm trying to think of the community, man. I'm trying to think of like how to possibly make everybody enjoy this experience. But to be honest with you, I think it's impossible. I really do. But if Epic Games has something up their sleeves, some way to reduce the skill gap a little bit, some way to, I don't know, make the time machine bring back different items from different seasons, I don't know. Just make the game a little bit more chaotic in the sense like Season X. Like, guys, once we get to Season X, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect. Everybody's not going to cry about the mechs anymore because we actually put a little bit of effort into fighting them instead of, there's a mech on the map. Oh my god, it shoots missiles. Like, they're not going to... They're not going to just have that, because when they got unvaulted, people actually found a way that they could fight against them, you know? So it's going to be a lot of fun, and people are really going to appreciate what Season X was. I'm totally convinced of that, assuming that, of course, everything is the same. But other than that, man, I'm a little bit worried for the community, but regardless, I'm going to be sitting here. I'm going to be having an absolute blast. I will be the most positive member of this community when it comes to OG Fortnite returning. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. A 1 month long season, driving through all the seasons. It's going to be an absolute blast. I'm going to be playing this game every night. I cannot wait for it. I'm going to be doing nothing but thanking Donald Mustard for it. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to enjoy my time, and that's why I love you guys on the channel so much, is because I know that so many of you will be enjoying this with me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about all this down below. Let me know what you think about Epic Games if they end up doing all of these changes. Again, I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. On the screen right now, if you'd like to continue watching the Clen channel, there'll be 2 videos on screen for you to check out. I will see you either there or in the next video, guys. Take care.